microphone for him to hear.
Highland Park, that's what I meant, yeah, Highland Park.
That's like
I've been there
because
before.
I worked over there.
No, I've been right through the,
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. The time is 7:30. This is the regular council meeting for February 14th. Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Councilman Bliss,
I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Corbett. Can you hear me? Mayor Pro Tem Corbett. Can you not hear me?
Let me see if this will work. Okay, try it again.
Mayor Pro Tem Corbett.
Yes, here.
Councilman Fleming.
here?
Councilor Rohrbach. Here. Councilman Soltis.
Here.
Councilor Wright.
Here.
Mayor Grafstein.
I'm here, thank you. Invocation this evening is going to be from Councilor
I'm
Wright.
not hearing anything.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me at all? I think he can't hear as long as I'm on mute.
Bob over there.
If it says mute, then he can't.
Sorry, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now.
Did you unmute that one?
Okay, the invocation this evening will be from Councilor Wright, and then he will be leading us with the pledge.
Thank you, Your Honor. In lieu of having a different mic, I'm going to just read it from here. In honor of Black History Month, I wanted to read part of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing, to earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of hope and of the faith that the dark path has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on to victory is won. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first up, we have the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions from the agenda this evening? All right, seeing none, we're going to go straight to our presentations. Random Act of Kindness Proclamation.
Council is requested to approve the week of February the 13th through the 19th as Random Acts of Kindness Week, urging all citizens to join in observing the week by committing acts of goodwill towards others. Being kind should no longer be random. It is time to make kindness the norm. And I thought we were going to be joined today by
She
Send an email.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Margene Scott, so you want to read her email, or?
Yes, she just sent it.
Okay.
You want me to read it now? Okay. I would like to thank the City of Madison Heights and our City Council once again for honoring and recognizing the Random Acts of Kindness Week. This was a national movement at first, but is now a worldwide program thanks to people like you. It came to our city locally when my husband, Jack Scott, and I were recipients of a kind act by a stranger in a local restaurant, the Old Steak and Ale, in 1995. A total stranger who was a middle-aged man had paid for our meal and tip as well. Instead of the bill, our waitress handed us a note with a message scrawled in his handwriting. Okay, there are too many random acts of violence in this world, so I choose to offset this with a random act of kindness. I'm not wealthy, I'm on Social Security disability, but I choose you two because you were sitting next to each other, and we're obviously happy to be together. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you. And thank you.
I have a little bit more, sorry. I just
sorry.
gotta find my thing. Jack and I were so surprised and wanted to give him our thanks, but we looked up and he had already left the room. It was very frustrating not to be able to acknowledge his kindness and meet him. My husband said, you know a lot of people. I think he would like us to pass this on. In fact, why don't you see if the city council could start it in our city so a lot of people could share our joy? After telling many people about our unforgettable experience, I suggested it to our council who loved the story as well. We researched and read many books about the national movement and wrote a proclamation which was readily accepted. The national director of the movement flew to Madison Heights and spent the day with Jack and I and took part in the many activities the city had planned. Our story was written up in a Life magazine, and we received a long-distance call from another National Random Acts of Kindness group in London, England. After 26 years, After 26 years, Madison Heights is known as one of the biggest promoters of the movement, and we encourage others to take part, thanks to the promotion by our city and council. It is somewhat difficult to celebrate this year, as my Jack passed away this past year, and it's my first Random Acts of Kindness week and Valentine's Day without him. He was the kindest person I ever knew, and I would like to think how happy he would be to see it promoted and celebrated as he did every year. So please remember to tell your recipient to pass this act or thought of to someone else that could benefit from your care and love. Remember that kindness is contagious, and try to make kindness the norm. With love, Margene Ann Scott, retired councilwoman.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that, because I appreciate every year hearing the history, and it's not just an act of kindness, it's also a wonderful love story between Margene and Jack, so thank you for that. And up next, we have public hearings. There are two. The first is a rezoning request for 26783 Lenox Avenue.
The applicant, Marish Architecture, requests rezoning of one parcel at 26783 Lenox Avenue from R3 Residential to P1 Vehicular Parking District. The property is located on the west side of Lenox Avenue, south of 11 Mile Road. The subject property is approximately 0.15 acres in area and is currently improved with a 967 square feet single-family residence and detached garage. The applicant requested the rezoning in order to accommodate additional off-street parking for a proposed commercial development. However, on January the 21st, the applicant formally requested that this action for rezoning be postponed to allow more time to submit the related special use application. So we are still opening the public hearing tonight, but we will be postponing any action on this.
All right, so is there anybody in the public who wishes to speak this evening on this specific item? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public hearing, but we do have a letter.
Dear Mayor Grafstein, as a longtime resident of Lenox Avenue, I find the public notice potentially allowing the restaurant owner of Boodles to expand their parking lot for a third time totally ridiculous. Through the years, Boodles expanded their parking by acquiring the property adjacent to 7-Eleven and their residence at 26791 Lenox Avenue, resulting in a demolition of a house. Now they seek to demolish another house. Is this a residential district or a parking lot, also known AKA a way to convert residential property to commercial property? This business already has 75 parking spaces, much more than any viable business in the area, such as CVS, Walgreens, and Madison Motors. This business is only open 25 hours per week, meaning the parking lot is empty 85% of the time. Through the years, Boodles has not been a good neighbor. The most recent episode was 5 vehicles parked in their lot for better than 4 months without being moved. I got tired of looking at it, so I called the city code enforcer. Vehicles were ticketed, and I believe 2 were towed away. For the brown van, it is now parked on the street without being moved over 2 weeks, blocking garbage pickup. If you have not been in the area over the past year or so, you would not be aware of the squeeze the folks on the west side of Lenox Avenue between 11 Mile and Greg Ave suffered. This includes demolition of 4 houses, demolition of a 10-foot black barrier wall, installation of utility poles and a new wall poles, and excavation of land for a new lane for the service drive, and for the proposed hotel. Madison Heights already has a hotel district in the 14 Mile and Stevenson area in an isolated area free from residents. Hotels are 24-hour disruptors of transients coming and going. This is a residential area for the residents and not for one owner of a dilapidated restaurant in a lane width from the middle of a highway. Before the city considers any hotel development of a multiple-storied building at that site, they should consult with the folks in Hazel Park who once owned a multiple-storied Holiday Inn built at 9 Mile and Stevenson Highway. This hotel turned into a crime haven. Sincerely, Joe Sawicki.
All right, thank you. So are we voting to postpone this then, or we're just
No,
postponing it?
no action
No
is
action.
required from
Okay.
council.
All right, so next up, we have the rezoning request for 26744 Osmond.
The applicant Woodpile Barbecue requests to rezone one parcel of land at 26744 Osmond Street from R3 Residential to B3 General Business District. The property is located at the southeast corner of East 11 Mile Road and Osmond Street. The subject property is 0.2 of an acre in area and is currently improved with a 910 square foot single-family residence and detached garage. The applicant requests the rezoning in order to accommodate additional off-street parking for Woodpile Barbecue located immediately to the east of the subject site. The subject site is located within the boundaries of the DDA. Based on the Planning Commission's findings and recommendations, staff recommends that the City Council approve this rezoning request upon second reading after the required public hearing.
All right, thank you. So at this time, I'm going to open the meeting for public comment regarding this specific property, if there's anyone who wishes to speak regarding this property.
There is a gentleman in the audience. This is your time to speak, sir. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Okay. All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment and ask what is the wish of council.
Your Honor,
Bliss?
I move that we adopt Ordinance 2176 on second and final reading.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, next up, we do have meeting open to the public. This would be for any topic. So meeting is open to the public if there's anyone who wishes to speak. All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Next up, we have communications. We have resignations from Nancy Minkler and from James Smith from boards and commissions. Mrs. Marsh?
Nancy Minkler has submitted her resignation from the Library Advisory Board, and James Smith has submitted his resignation from the Planning Commission. City Council is being requested to accept both resignations and declare these seats vacant.
Thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Ms. Rohrbach?
I move that we accept the resignations of Nancy Minkler and James Smith from their boards and commission appointments and declare the seat vacant and issue the appropriate thanks.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, we have ordinances. First one is 2178, distracted driving ordinance. This is the first reading. Mrs. Marsh?
Michigan law currently only prohibits typing, sending text message, or reading a text message while driving. As Madison Heights takes steps to become more pedestrian and bike-friendly city, it is important that we give our police officers the tools they need to be able to enforce distracted driving. The police chief and the assistant city attorney have researched our city ordinances and have worked together on drafting a distracted driving ordinance which mirrors these ordinances in other cities. Specifically, this ordinance addresses physical manipulation of the wireless electronic entertainment or two-way communication device such as cell phones, laptops, gaming devices, and also actions that take a driver's attention away from the operation of the motor vehicle, such as performing personal hygiene like putting on makeup, physical interactions with pets, and reading. A person found violating this ordinance would be responsible for a civil infraction and a fine of $100. Staff and the city attorney recommend approval of ordinance 2178 on the first reading and scheduling of the second and final reading for February the 28th city council meeting.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor, I move that I move that council concurs with the recommendation of staff and approve ordinance 2178 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February 28th, 2022.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Council
I'll
Wright?
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right. Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. And then ordinance 2177, the zoning text amendment for temporary certificates of occupancy, first reading.
City staff proposes ordinance 2177 text amendment to extend the length in which temporary certificates of occupancy can remain effective. The current zoning ordinance limits a temporary certificate of occupancy to 6 months. As proposed, the text amendment will allow the city to grant a temporary certificate of occupancy for up to 1 year. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on January the 18th and subsequently recommended approval of the proposed text amendment as presented. Therefore, staff and I recommend that City Council approve the first reading and schedule the second and final reading for the February 28th council meeting.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Mr. Bliss?
I move that we adopt ordinance 2177 on first reading and schedule the second and final reading for the February 28th, 2022 council meeting.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Rohrbach?
I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those against say no. Motion carries. All right, next up, we have the minutes from the last city council meeting from January 24th. Can I get a motion to approve?
Your Honor,
Bliss?
I move that we approve the minutes of the meeting from January 24th as printed.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor?
Split, Ms. Soltis? Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. That concludes our regular meeting. I'm going to invite closing comments, starting with Mayor Pro Tem Corbett.
Hi. I torture you. I can hear the echo from where I'm at right now. I will discuss with the community in a couple of weeks what's been going on with my health. It's been an ever-changing scenario. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not on death's door or anything. But there have been some challenges, and I absolutely did intend to be there this evening. And unfortunately, a bad blood report into last week came in and said that my immune system had not perked up yet. Hence, which was actually the reason indirectly that I had missed the previous 2 meetings. So we scrambled, and the Attorney General just conveniently came through with an opinion in the last week or two, actually in the last few days, which made it possible for me to attend this way. Yeah, we will talk a little further next time, but I'm fine. I have got some challenges ahead of me, but everything will work out. And that'll be enough for now, Your Honor. I'll talk with everybody in a couple weeks, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Bliss?
Your Honor, nothing really tonight. I mean, as much as I love my colleagues and the city, I love my wife more, and I'd like to get home to her on Valentine's Day.
Councilor Wright?
Having a wife as well, I would like to second that. And just as a reminder, in the spirit of Random's acts of kindness, just remind everyone to practice that. A lot of people struggle with their mental health, and we don't know it, and we don't know it sometimes until it's too late. And so I know that there are some people and some families dealing with that in our community, and so just be kind.
Thank you. Mr. Sherman?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll triple that Valentine's Day.
I'll take a
Aye.
pass too then.
Sure, make me the bad guy. I just want to say that the next round of boards and commissions appointments will take place at the next city council meeting. If you are interested in serving, you can find an application on our city website. Applications do need to be submitted by the end of this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to call the clerk's office. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
Happy Valentine's Day, happy Random Acts of Kindness Week, happy Black History Month, and do something kind for one another. Thank you.
Councilman Fleming?
Yep. I just have, just wanted to make, say a thank you to the Recreation Department and all the volunteers who are working with the Recreation Department, who've been working on various events that recently happened or are ongoing, such as the Blizzard Blast, the Hearts in the Park Challenge, and the coffee concerts that are going on. You know, those events that are happening are really great to join the community together, and it's really appreciative there for all the hard work they're putting together for those events. That's it.
All right, thank you. Councilman Soltis?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. I don't have to worry about, like my colleagues, I'm divorced, so I don't have to worry about it. But just, yeah, stay safe. And also, remember to keep doing the, going to our businesses and visit them and do business with them, especially Betty Ross, who's got the best hot turkey sandwich in town. So, and that's all. Thank you.
All right, so I just want to say happy Valentine's to everybody. Random Acts of Kindness Week should really be month, year, lifetime. You know, everyone is fighting battles that you can't always see, and just be kind, because you never know that one act of kindness could really make the difference in somebody's life. Our next meeting is February 28th. The time is 7:51. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Good night.
Hey. So now I'm in trouble.
Have we ever had a meeting that quick? No, I think that's